The cell smelled of rust and old blood. Lay on the cold metal floor, counting the cracks in the ceiling. 47 cracks. He had counted them 1,000 times before. There was nothing else to do in the pits. His body hurt. It always hurt. 8 years of pain had become normal. The alien scientists liked to study him. They would break his bones to see how long it took to heal. They would burn his skin to test his tolerance. They wanted to understand why humans had fought so hard against the Empire. The cell door opened with a hiss, did not move. Moving hurt more than staying still. Still alive, I see. It was voice. She was human too, one of the few left. She knelt beside him and placed something in his hand. Food. A small piece of protein bar from her own rations. Wanted to refuse it, but his body needed it too badly. "You need to eat more than me," he whispered. His voice sounded broken, like gravel scraping metal. "Shut up and eat," said. She was checking his wounds with gentle fingers. She had been a medic once before Earth died. Now she was a prisoner like him. Ate slowly. The protein bar tasted like dust, but it was food. Around them, other prisoners moved in their cells. Most were alien species. They avoided the humans. The aliens called them stubborn vermin when they thought the humans could not hear. "New warden coming today," said quietly. "I heard the guards talking. His name is, he is supposed to be important." Closed his eyes. New wardens were always worse than old ones. They liked to prove themselves. Finished checking his wounds and sat back. "Do you remember Earth?" she asked. "Every day," said. He remembered the sky. Blue, not the red of this cursed station. He remembered trees and wind and the smell of rain. He remembered his squad, all dead now. All gone when the Empire glassed Earth and turned it into a ball of burning rock. "I was on an evacuation ship," said. She had told him this before, but she liked to repeat it. Maybe it helped her remember she had done something right. "We got away. Then I came back to look for survivors." "Stupid," said, but without anger. "Probably," agreed. Footsteps echoed in the corridor. Heavy boots, guards, stood quickly and backed away. The guards did not like when prisoners talked to each other. 3 guards stopped at cell. They were tall, with gray skin and black eyes. They wore armor that could stop bullets. Behind them stood someone new. He was taller than the others, with medals on his chest and scars on his face. "This is the human?" the new one asked. His voice was cold. "Yes, Warden," a guard answered. "Specimen J1177, one of the soldiers from Earth's final battle." Stared at with hate in his eyes. "I was there," he said. "At Earth. Your kind killed half my battalion. Primitive weapons, desperate tactics, you should have surrendered." Stared back. He had no energy for fear anymore. "The Empress wants entertainment," continued. "There will be games. Gladiator fights for the nobility to watch. This human will participate." One of the guards looked uncertain. "Sir, the specimen is damaged. It can barely walk." "Perfect," said with a cold smile. "The crowd will enjoy watching it die. Put it against a warrior. Make it public. Let the galaxy see what happens to species that resist the Empire." The guards opened cell and dragged him out. His legs did not work properly. Broken bones had healed wrong over the years. They pulled him down the corridor like a piece of meat. Watched from her cell, her hands gripping the bars. She said nothing, but her eyes were wet. They threw into a preparation cell. It was smaller than his regular cell. A screen on the wall showed the arena. It was massive, with seats for thousands of aliens. They would all come to watch him die. Lay on the floor and laughed. It hurt to laugh. Everything hurt. But the idea was funny somehow. The Empire had destroyed his world, killed his people, scattered humanity across the stars like dust, and now they wanted to make a show of killing one broken soldier. They did not understand. They had never understood. Closed his eyes and thought of his squad, who always joked even when they were surrounded, who never missed a shot, who could fly anything with engines, who could hack alien systems with human computers. All dead, all gone. But they had died fighting. They had died free. His last words echoed in his memory. Remember what we are, brother, apex predators. His broken lips formed a word, just one word, a word that they did not know, a word that meant everything about humanity. Apex, he whispered to the empty cell. Outside, preparations for the games continued. The galaxy would watch. The galaxy would see a broken human die in the arena. But the galaxy did not know what humans became when they had nothing left to lose. Fever came that night. His body burned with infection from old wounds. In the fever, memories came like ghosts. He saw his face, young and grinning, always grinning. They stood in the briefing room of the Ghost Division base. It was 5 years before Earth died, before the Empire came. Another impossible mission, said, reading the orders. They want us to steal an alien ship. Not steal, corrected from her seat. She was cleaning her rifle as always. Borrow. We give it back after we learn how it works. By blowing it up, added. The pilot was young then, barely 20. That counts as giving it back. Laughed while typing on her computer. Their security is a joke. I can get us in. Remembered feeling proud. His squad, his family, the best soldiers Earth had ever made. The memory shifted. First contact with the Empire. Humanity had been so hopeful, other intelligent life in the universe. A chance for peace, for friendship, for trade. The ambassador stood before the United Earth Council. He was tall and gray and looked at humans like they were insects. You will submit to the Empire, the ambassador said. No negotiation, no diplomacy, just a demand. Your world will become part of our territory. Your people will serve. Resistance is illogical. The Earth Council tried to negotiate, tried to find middle ground. They did not care. We have conquered 400 species, the ambassador said. You are primitive, weak. You cannot win. Submit or be destroyed. Earth's answer came 3 days later. A single word broadcast across all frequencies. No. The expected quick victory. They had better ships, better weapons, better armor. They had conquered 400 species. Humans would be number 401. They were wrong. The memory burned brighter. Saw the first battle, ships in orbit firing at Earth cities. Human ships rising to meet them. Smaller, weaker, but fast and desperate. The Ghost Division's first real mission. They had to destroy a supply depot on the moon. 60 enemy soldiers guarded it. Squad was 5 people. Terrible odds, said, checking his explosives. We have been in worse, lied. They had never been in worse. They infiltrated at night, hacked the security, took out the sentries with silent shots, kept the escape shuttle ready, placed charges everywhere. They destroyed the depot. All 60 soldiers died. The Ghost Division lost no one. They could not understand it. How did such primitive beings fight so well? More memories. Mission after mission. The Ghost Division became legends. They stole a dreadnought and crashed it into an enemy fleet. They evacuated entire colonies under orbital bombardment. They turned mining charges into weapons that could kill armored aliens. Humans fought differently than other species. They used tricks and traps. They refused to follow the rules of war that they expected. They hid in places no one should survive. They attacked when they should have fled. They never, ever surrendered. Why do they keep fighting? Once heard a captured officer ask. They cannot win. Do they not understand mathematics? The human interrogator had smiled. We understand, we just do not care. The memory shifted again. This one hurt more. Rumors started spreading through Earth's military, something called the Apex Protocol. A final weapon, a last resort if Earth fell. Asked his commanding officer about it. The officer looked tired, so tired. If the worst happens, the officer said, Apex activates. That is all I can tell you, but remember this. Humans are not the biggest or strongest species, But we are survivors. We evolved from prey animals that learned to hunt. We are apex predators wearing the skin of something harmless. Did not understand then, but he remembered the words. The final memory, the one that always made him scream in his sleep. Earth's last battle. The Empire sent their entire fleet, 200 warships in orbit. They were done playing. They would glass the planet and be finished with humanity. The Ghost Division fought in the ruins of Sol. Their mission was simple: buy time for the evacuation ships. Civilian ships loaded with women and children and old people. Ships carrying the last hope of humanity. The soldiers came in waves. Squad held a bridge over the Han River, just 5 people against an army. Died first. A plasma bolt to the chest. She kept hacking enemy communications until the end, sending false orders to confuse them. Died second. She stayed in her sniper position even when the building collapsed. Her last shot killed a commander. Died third. He flew his damaged shuttle into an enemy transport, destroying it and himself together. Died last. He had planted explosives all over the bridge. When the army tried to cross, he detonated them all. The explosion was so big it shook the ground for miles. But before he died, grabbed shoulder. Blood ran from his mouth. He was smiling. Remember what we are, brother said. Apex predators, make them remember. Then the bridge exploded, woke up in a prison ship. Earth was gone, his squad was dead, he was alone. The fever broke, opened his eyes. He was still in the preparation cell, still waiting to die in the arena. But someone was in the cell with him. She had snuck in somehow. She was wiping his forehead with a wet cloth. You were screaming, she said softly. Memory said. Of Earth. Of family. Was quiet for a moment, then she spoke. I was on evacuation ship 7. We got away because of your squad, because the Ghost Division bought us time. Looked at her. I came back, continued, because I needed to find someone, anyone. I could not let it end with all of us scattered and broken. She leaned closer. They think they broke us, they think they won, but they do not understand humans. We do not break, we adapt, we survive, we wait. For what? Asked. Smiled. It was not a happy smile. It was the smile of a predator. For the right moment, she said, for Apex. The arena was bigger than expected. Thousands of aliens filled the seats. Nobility, merchants from conquered worlds, species from across the empire. They came to watch blood and death. They came to be entertained. Guards dragged through the tunnel. His legs could barely hold his weight. Broken bones had healed wrong. Muscles had atrophied from years in a cell. He was a shadow of the soldier he had been. The tunnel opened to blinding light. The crowd roared, not cheering, laughing. They were laughing at him. Stood in the center of the arena, sand under his feet, blood stains everywhere. How many had died here? Warden stood in the royal box, speaking into a microphone. His voice boomed across the arena. Citizens of the Empire announced, today you witness justice. This creature is human. Its species dared to resist our rightful rule. They killed our soldiers. They destroyed our ships. They refused the gift of submission. The crowd booed. Some threw garbage toward. But look at it now, continued. Broken, weak, pathetic. This is what happens to those who resist. Let this human die as a lesson to all who think themselves strong enough to defy the Empire. A gate on the opposite side of the arena opened. Something massive walked through. The warrior stood 8 feet tall. Its body looked like an insect made of armor. 4 arms, each holding a blade. Black eyes that reflected no light. The crowd cheered for it. 40 wins, 0 losses. The looked at and made a clicking sound, probably laughter. A bell rang. The fight began. The moved fast. One blade swung its head. He barely dodged. The blade cut air where his neck had been. Another strike. This one caught his shoulder. Pain exploded through him. Old wounds reopened. Blood ran down his arm. Fell, the sand was hot against his face. The crowd cheered louder. "Get up," said's voice in his memory. Pushed himself to his knees, the kicked him. Ribs cracked. He flew backward and hit the arena wall. "Get up," said's voice. He could not breathe, could not see straight. His body was failing. The walk toward him slowly, taking its time. This was not a fight, this was an execution. Tried to stand. His legs shook, he fell again. The crowd laughed. Someone yelled, "Just die already." "Get up," said's voice. His hand touched something in the sand, a piece of broken blade from a previous fight, sharp, rusty. He grabbed it. The raised all four blades for a killing strike. Moved not away, toward. He rolled between the legs. The creature was confused. Prey ran away. Prey did not charge forward. Stabbed the rusty blade into the leg joint, where armor met flesh. The creature screamed. Stood, his body screamed in pain, but he ignored it. He had fought with broken bones before. Pain was just information. The spun around, furious now. It swung all four blades at once. Ducked under them, grabbed sand, threw it in the creature's eyes. Dishonorable, the crowd yelled, cheating. Did not care. War had no honor, only winners and losers. The swung blindly, dodged and grabbed one of its arms, used its own weight against it. This was judo, human martial arts. The alien did not know what hit it. The stumbled, kicked its wounded leg. The creature fell to one knee. The crowd went quiet. This was not supposed to happen. Circled the warrior. He was breathing hard, every movement hurt, but he was smiling now. "Apex," he whispered. The roared and charged, exactly what wanted. He, at the last second, grabbed the creature's arm as it passed, used momentum to twist it. Bones snapped. The screamed again. It turned, trying to strike with its other arms. Was already moving. He jumped onto the creature's back, wrapped his arms around its neck. This was a chokehold, simple human technique. The tried to throw him off. It spun and thrashed, but held on. 8 years of torture had taught him how to endure. The creature's movement slowed, its breathing stopped, it fell forward. Rolled off and stood, they did not move. The arena was silent. Thousands of aliens stared in shock. Looked up at Warden, blood ran down his face. His body was broken again, but he was standing. "Apex," shouted. His voice echoed across the silent arena. His face was pale, he looked terrified. "You have not won," said louder now. "You destroyed Earth. You scattered my people, but you have not won. You will never win." He took a step toward the royal box. Guards tensed. That word said, "Apex." It means you made a mistake, a big mistake. You thought breaking our bodies would break our spirit. You thought destroying our home would destroy us. He laughed, it hurt to laugh. He did not care. "We are humans," said. "We evolved on a world that tried to kill us every day. We had no claws, no venom, no armor, so we became smarter, faster, more dangerous. We learned to hunt animals bigger than us. We learned to survive anything." The crowd murmured. Some aliens looked scared. "You think you conquered us," continued, "but you just made us angry. You scattered us across your empire, put us in your factories, your ships, your stations. You put predators among your prey and called it victory." His legs gave out. He fell to his knees, but he kept staring at. "Apex," he said one more time. "Remember that word. It means you should have killed us all when you had the chance." Guards rushed into the arena. They grabbed and dragged him away. The crowd was shouting now, some angry, some afraid. In her cell, listened to the chaos on the prison speakers. She smiled. In the royal box, Warden sat frozen. He had seen the human's eyes. They were not the eyes of prey. They were the eyes of a hunter. And somewhere in the crowd, an old alien named closed his eyes. He had warned them, warned the Empire about humans, but they had not listened. Now they would learn. Now the whole galaxy would learn what happens when you break humanity. They evolve. They threw into isolation. A cell so small he could not stand or lie straight. Complete darkness. No food, no water, punishment for embarrassing the Empire. He did not care. He had won, not the fight against the something bigger. He had shown the galaxy that humans were not broken. Above in the station, something was changing. The video of the fight spread. Prisoners whispered about it. Guards talked about the human who should have died but did not. The word Apex traveled through the station like fire. In the slave quarters, a human mechanic named heard the story. He had been 12 when Earth fell. Now he was 20. He remembered nothing of freedom except stories. Apex, he whispered to himself while fixing an engine. The word felt powerful. In another sector, a human cook named heard the guards talking. They were scared of one word. She smiled while serving their food. It was the first time she had smiled in years. Across the galaxy in hundreds of systems, humans in slave camps and prisons heard the story. A human fought back. A human won. A human said Apex. Small acts of resistance began. A delayed shipment here. A broken machine there. Secret messages passed between humans who had never met. Nothing big enough to notice, but something was stirring. In isolation, drifted in and out of consciousness. Hunger and thirst made him weak, but something strange was happening to his body. The wounds from the arena fight should have killed him, but they were healing. Fast. He felt something in his neck, warm, pulsing, like a second heartbeat. The implant. Every Ghost Division soldier had received one. Military technology embedded in the spine. It was supposed to help with coordination and communication, but there were rumors it did more than that. In the darkness, felt the implant activating. Something he had said triggered it, some word or phrase that unlocked hidden programming. Apex. Warden could not sleep. He sat in his office, watching the video of the arena fight again and again. How had the human won? It was broken, starved, tortured for years. What is Apex? He asked the empty room. He needed to know, needed to understand. Ordered guards to bring from isolation. They dragged him out after 3 days. He should have been dead, but he was breathing, barely. They threw him in an interrogation room, sat across from him. What is Apex? Demanded. Is it a weapon, a code? Tell me. His lips were cracked and bleeding, but he smiled. It is what we are, said. His voice was rough but steady. Earth had no natural weapons, no claws or fangs or poison. We were prey animals once, weak, slow. He coughed, blood came up. But we adapted, continued. We learned to hunt. We did not run fast, but we ran longer than anything else. We chased prey for days until it collapsed from exhaustion. We survived ice ages, turned deserts into farms, made wolves into dogs, turned fire into technology. Leaned forward. You are talking about evolution. That does not explain. Apex means you picked a fight with a species that survived by refusing to die, interrupted. You broke our planet, you scattered us, but you did not kill us all. That was your mistake. You are one broken soldier. What can you possibly? Laughed. I am not alone. There are millions of us in your factories, on your ships, cleaning your floors and fixing your machines. You put us everywhere. You thought you controlled us. His smile grew wider. But we are not controlled. We are waiting, adapting, learning your systems, and when the time comes, you will see what humans become when you take everything from them. Stood up furious but also afraid. He saw it now. The danger, not from weapons or ships, from the humans themselves. He left the interrogation room and locked inside. In the prison's work area was fixing medical equipment. Other human prisoners worked nearby. They spoke in whispers. The word is spreading, said the mechanic. Good, replied, not looking up from her work. What does it mean? Asked the cook. Apex. Glanced around. No guards were close enough to hear. It means the protocol activated, she said quietly. What protocol? Asked. Put down her tools. Before Earth fell, our scientists knew we might lose, so they created insurance. The Apex Protocol, hidden technology in human implants and DNA, distributed across all of us. She touched her neck. Every human has a piece of it. Alone, the pieces do nothing. But together, when enough of us say the activation word, the network wakes up. What network? Whispered. Information, locations, military data, everything we need to fight back, smiled. They think they destroyed humanity's military, but they only destroyed our ships and soldiers, not our knowledge, not our will. Far across the galaxy, Admiral stood on the bridge of a small ship. She was old now, gray hair, face, but her eyes were sharp. Confirmation from 17 sectors, her officer reported. The word has been spoken. Apex Protocol is active. Admiral nodded. She had been waiting for this day for 8 years, waiting for one human to be brave enough or crazy enough to trigger the protocol. Begin fleet assembly, she ordered. Contact all Allied ships. Tell them we are going to get our people. Her officer hesitated. Admiral, we have only 40 ships that have thousands. We do not need more ships, Admiral said. We need surprise, coordination, and the fact that every human in their empire is about to become a saboteur. She touched her neck, feeling her own implant pulse with information. Locations of every human prisoner, layouts of stations, weaknesses in their defenses. They study us for years, Admiral said. They break our bones and burn our skin. They try to understand why we fought so hard, but they never learn the truth. What truth? Her officer asked. Admiral smiled. That humanity's greatest weapon is not technology, it is stubbornness. We do not know when to quit. A pilot walked onto the bridge, young face, familiar face, impossibly alive. I heard the call said, Apex is alive. Admiral nodded. Then we go get him, and we show the what happens when you leave humans alive long enough to get angry. The fleet began to assemble. 40 ships became 50, then 60, human survivors, alien allies, anyone who hated the Empire. They were coming for pits. They were coming for. And across the galaxy, in every station and ship, humans stopped pretending to be broken. They stood a little taller, worked a little slower, looked their captors in the eyes. The prey was remembering how to hunt. The alarm woke the entire station. Red lights flashed. Guards ran through corridors shouting orders. Fleet approaching, unknown ships, battle stations. In his cell, opened his eyes. He felt different, stronger. The implant had finished repairing his body, not perfectly. He would never be what he was before, but he could fight now. The station shook. Explosions. Someone was attacking pits. A broadcast crackled over every speaker in the prison. The voice was human, female, strong. Apex Protocol active. All human UNITS respond. Implant pulsed. Information flooded his mind. Station layout, guard positions, escape routes, and something else. The location of every human in the prison. His cell door sparked, then exploded, stood in the corridor holding a stolen plasma cutter. About time you woke up, she said, grinning. Behind her were other humans, dozens more, all armed with stolen tools and weapons. How? Asked. I lied, said. I told you I was a medic, that was true, but I was also something else. Apex Protocol architect. I designed the implant system. She helped him stand. His legs worked now. The implant had repaired the damage. We have been waiting for someone to trigger it, continued. Someone brave enough or crazy enough to say the word in front of the whole empire. You did that. More explosions rocked the station. The fleet was engaging defenses. We need to take control of the prison, said. His training was coming back. Ghost Division protocols. Take a team to communications. Cut off their ability to call for help. Armory. We need real weapons. Life support. Make sure they cannot vent the prisoner sections. They moved without question. The humans scattered through the station like they had trained for this. In a way, they had. Every human carried military knowledge in their implant, shared tactical data, centuries of warfare compressed into digital information. Led a group toward the command center. Guards tried to stop them. They failed. Moved like he used to, fast, precise. No wasted motion. He disarmed one guard and used the alien's own weapon against the others. Behind him, other humans fought with desperate efficiency. They used terrain, set traps, coordinated without speaking. The implants connected them all. In the armory, and his team overwhelmed the guards. Weapons were distributed. Humans who had been slaves and prisoners yesterday were soldiers today. Reached communications. She was not just a medic, she was a hacker. Her fingers flew over alien systems. Within minutes, she cut pits off from the rest of the Empire. No distress calls going out, she reported over the network. We are dark. Outside the station, Admiral's fleet engaged warships. They had superior numbers and weapons, but they fought by doctrine, predictable tactics, formation warfare. Humans did not fight fair. Piloted a small ship through impossible spaces. He flew between vessels, using them as cover. His ship was barely armed, but it did not need weapons. It had explosives. He rammed a cruiser's engine section and ejected at the last second. The cruiser exploded. The escape pod spun away. One down, he reported calmly. 17 to go. Other human pilots his tactic. Suicide runs that were not quite suicide. Eject at the last moment. Let the explosion do the work. They could not comprehend it. What species valued mission success over survival? Humans, that is what species. Inside the station, reached the command center. Warden waited with his elite guards, 20 against 1. You cannot win, said. Even if you take this station, the Empire will send more ships, more soldiers. You are one broken prison in a galaxy of millions. Smiled, you still do not understand. He charged. The guards fired, dodged and weaved. His implant predicted their shots based on barrel positions and body language. It was not magic, just processing speed. He reached the first guard, disarmed him, used the guard's body as a shield, took his weapon, fired twice, 2 more guards down. The fight was brutal, fast, took hits. His body would hurt tomorrow, but tomorrow did not matter, only now mattered. Drew his own weapon. He was a warrior too, a decorated commander. They fought hand to hand, was stronger, bigger, but was desperate, and desperation made humans dangerous. Broke's arm, then his leg. The warden fell. Apex said, standing over him, "It does not mean we are stronger than you. It means we do not quit, ever. You can break our bodies, destroy our worlds, scatter us across the stars, but you cannot make us give up." He left alive, broken but alive, so he could tell the Empire what happened here. His voice came over the implant network. Control room secured, life support secure, armory secure, we control the station. Outside, Admiral's fleet destroyed the last warship. The station was theirs. A shuttle approached. It landed in the main hangar, ran out, grinning like he used to. "Heard you needed a ride," he said when he saw. They embraced, brothers reunited, soldiers who should have been dead but refused to die. The evacuation took 2 hours. Every prisoner who wanted to leave was taken. Humans first, but also aliens who had been kind to them, species who had helped in small ways. Stood in the hangar watching the last shuttle load, stood beside him. "This is just the beginning," she said. "I know. The Empire will hunt us. Let them try." Smiled. "The protocol is fully active now. Every human in the galaxy knows. We have coordinates, safe houses, weapons caches hidden by Earth's military before the fall. We are not scattered anymore. We are a network." Thought about that. Millions of humans across hundreds of systems, all connected now, all ready to fight. "What happens next?" he asked. "We survive," said. "We grow, we fight, same as always." The shuttle lifted off. Pits fell away below them. Admiral's fleet formed up around the shuttle. "Course?" the pilot asked. "Anywhere the Empire is not expecting us," Admiral replied. "We have work to do." 6 months passed. The Empire's high command met in emergency session. Reports flooded in from across their territory. Supply depot destroyed on Prime's moon. Human insurgents. Dreadnought stolen from Sector 7. Human crew. 3 colonies freed from Imperial control. Human-led resistance. "How many humans survived Earth's destruction?" an admiral asked. 2 to 3 million, intelligence reported, scattered across 200 systems. "How is such a small number causing this much chaos?" The intelligence officer displayed a map. Red dots appeared across the galaxy. Each dot was a human resistance cell. There were hundreds. "They work in our factories, repair our ships, clean our stations. We put them everywhere because we thought they were broken, harmless." The admiral stared at the map. "And now?" "Now they are coordinated, organized. Every attack is planned. They share information instantly. They turn our own systems against us." Another officer spoke up. "We could round them all up, execute them." "They are embedded in critical systems," intelligence warned. "Our economy depends on their labor, and they know this. They sabotage carefully. Nothing we can prove. Nothing we can stop without destroying our own infrastructure." An older stood. He was ancient and wise. "I studied Earth before we invaded," said. "I read their history. Do you know what I learned?" Silence. Humans have been fighting wars for their entire existence. Thousands of years of constant conflict. They perfected it. Every tactic, every strategy, guerrilla warfare, cyber attacks, psychological operations. They know every way to fight. He looked around the room. "We thought destroying their world would end them. We were wrong. We just made them angry, removed their reason to hold back. They have no home to defend now, no rules to follow. They can strike anywhere, anytime, and simply disappear into our population." "What do you suggest?" the admiral asked. Closed his eyes. "Pray they accept peace when we offer it, because we cannot win this. Not against a species that treats survival as a competitive sport." On a hidden base in the Outer Rim stood before a gathering of humans. Thousands of them. Freed slaves, escaped prisoners, soldiers who never surrendered. "They took our world," said. "They killed our families. They scattered us like dust." The crowd was silent. "But they made a mistake. They left us alive. They thought broken bones meant broken spirit. They were wrong." He raised his fist. "We are human. We are Apex. We survived extinction events, ice ages, plagues, wars. We turned predators into pets and deserts into gardens. We climbed from caves to space in 10,000 years." His voice grew stronger. "The Empire is old, comfortable. They conquered through overwhelming force, but they never learned what we know, that the most dangerous species is not the strongest. It is the one that refuses to quit." The crowd began to cheer. "We will fight, we will survive, we will win. Not today, maybe not tomorrow, but eventually, because that is what humans do. We endure, we adapt, we overcome." He looked across the faces, young and old and whole, all of them survivors. "Remember Earth, remember everyone we lost, and make the galaxy know humanity is not extinct. We are Apex." The roar shook the station, thousands of voices shouting one word. "Apex, Apex, Apex." The war for freedom had begun, and the galaxy was about to learn what happened when you broke humanity. They became unbreakable.